Well, today we're gonna do something different, something that I didn't do before. We're gonna go to the market to buy some stuff for the shelter. I'm gonna try not to spend over $15. Stay tuned. Tarp is what we need. 2 by 3 meters. Garbage bags. Field of poison ivy, and that's the plant that we want to avoid sleeping on. Well, this place looks just fine. I have these poles here to make shelter, and it's pretty straight, it's leveled up, so I think I'm gonna choose this place to make a campsite. I have around here these fallen trees. I can use it for construction and for fire. Yeah, it's a fine place. Let's continue. But you can hear the wind, and it really smells like snow, I have to say. It's a bit chilly, but yeah, we have some gear to make the shelter. As I said before, I went to the store to try not to spend more than $15 to buy gear from the campsite. Now I'm gonna show you what I have inside. I have my backpack here because I have a lot of camera gear, and that's the only reason why I carry it right now on this trip. Otherwise I would just have that garbage bag and put it all inside and just carry it till here, but you get the concept. And also I have a can of food, I bought a bottle of water, and I have my knife and my fire steel. Everything else I bought in this store just to make shelter, to make a great campsite. Now let me show you what I have here. Now I bought the tarp 2 by 3 meters. It should be enough to put it away. I have my jacket, of course. This foil is for the super shelter. You probably saw on the title what it is, but I'm gonna use this a bit later. Garbage bags. You can make great use of these to make bed, to collect water, to collect air, to collect all kind of stuff around here. And I'm gonna use it for something a bit different today. Also, I bought this rope. A great thing about this rope is it's made out of the natural material, and if you leave it by any case here, you didn't do any damage to the nature. It's just better than paracord in point of using it as a natural material. As I said, can of food, and today I have one product to show you that a company called Bushcraft sent me, and they're from Ukraine. We're gonna taste it out today. Okay, let's check out location, what we can use, clean the area if we have to, and make the shelter. And as always, clothes on me, Revolution Race. If you want to get this, go check it out, link below in description. I don't have to do any special review of it, it's just awesome, so go get it. Now, first thing I'm gonna do, I'm gonna clean these branches. They're sticking out just to protect my eyes and my gear, and everything else looks pretty fine. Only thing I have to figure out is what kind of setup I'm gonna make with my tarp here. Everything else should be easy. Now I really want to use also the branches just to make construction much more sturdy. One thing I forgot to mention, this was $5, also $5, this was $1. and this can was $2, and the garbage bags around $2. So you get 2, 3, 5, around $15 of a gear. So now, plus in this cleaning the area, we can use this for the fire, and it's pretty dry, it's a bit rotten, but better than nothing for sure. When you look around here, you would say a lot of firewood here, but the thing in reality, and probably most of you who go out there and spend nights, you know that even if it looks like much, it isn't. You really need a huge amount of firewood through the night, and it's better to have more than you need than less, because through the night when it gets colder, you have to feed your fire, otherwise you're gonna get cold. And one more thing is sure with this, it makes noise, so forget a nice sleep. I'm going to use this bad boy for the pole, and it's filled with this sticky stuff. Always carry gloves. I have to clean all of these little branches, and since I don't have an axe, I have to use my buko knife. And I believe enough this knife maker that he got it right, because he made this in front of me, and all the process was made just in front of me. So, torture test. You probably wonder why use this knife to do this. I can use some branch or something like that. Well, for the main reason, it's fun, just like batoning. I'm going to use this as a rope holder, so it doesn't matter how much I need, it will stay here. Carpenter's knot, you just go inside and around, tie it up. You can release your left hand, choose the height, go around and down, around here, and you use this loose end and just tie it all together. Well, I guess you have an idea right now what I did here. But still, I have problem with the wind moving my tarp all around here. So I have to make some kind of construction for the sides. I have to cover it because if I want the best result with a super shelter, you have to be closed up from all sides. And I have to make few tent pegs just to pin this into the ground. And yeah, it should be nice and cozy. It doesn't look much, maybe. It feels like home, I have to say. Now I had an idea to put these cross posts here to cover the sides. Well, I think that this is gonna be just enough to cover whole shelter. It gives extra cover. I will be able to see what's going on from the sides. And yeah, I hope it works. Set the camera. It's on. I use this piece of wood just to make a button, and now I'm gonna tie it up to this tree. Simple as that. Final thing to do, find pole just to roll this up, and we have a nice, neat and warm shelter. And it's getting dark, it's already 3 o'clock. You won't believe, but it took me a while to make this. And as always, if you're making something, always make it right from the first time. Well, maybe not perfect, completely fine. It's very light because it is rotten. And okay, let's see will it work. Time to find purpose for these. By the way, I have space in between here, but it won't be a problem to cover it up. So if you're making something like this, make sure you cover every hole, because otherwise you're gonna get cold and it won't be nice and cozy. This is what I'm looking for, a moss. This one is really nice and thick, so I'm gonna collect it in these bags, and from it I'm gonna make myself a bed. And I hope there'll be enough space for me on the ground, at least a few inches when it's compressed, and that should be nice. On the way here carrying this, I figured out something. I'm gonna put this directly on the ground here, and then I'm gonna put these garbage bags on it. The reason for that is I want to conserve that bags, and it's much safer when I put it like that than this inside, and from the other side there's the one more layer from the ground, so I think that would be a much better idea. And I'm gonna lay this all around here, and if nothing, it will look cool, but it will work, trust me. Just like a mattress. All I have to do now is just put those garbage bags. It should be nice and fine. I'm gonna put my gear in the corner, light the fire in here, and enjoy the night. I almost forgot that carving knife. I'm gonna show you now. I haven't even opened it up yet. So this is a handmade. As you can see, there is no barcodes on this, so you won't find it in any stores. And Bushcraft. And here's the address of the store. Now, I really didn't want to do any collaboration with anyone except for my Revolution race and more serious gear. I had the gear best and stuff like that, but yeah, I really don't like to recommend something that is very cheap, and usually when it's cheap it doesn't work. And they make all kind of carving tools, and this is a small little blade. It is hand forged. I don't know what wood this is. I didn't do my homework, to be honest, but yeah, it's very light, and it's very sharp. You can see this edge, it's very nicely made. So we're gonna test it out today. If it works, I'm gonna recommend. If it doesn't, I'll say that it's crap. But all in all, it's very sturdy and really nicely made. It has really some soul in it. Let's clean the area up from fire. I really have to be careful about making a fire not too close to the shelter, because this cover is very thin, so it could be burnt very easy. And I'm gonna do it over here. And very nice thing about my country, we have a bunch of rocks. For that reason, I don't have to use any green wood for the reflector, because you have to make it green, otherwise it will burn. And this way I preserve nature, and they're not gonna burn. And one more plus, they keep heat very nicely. So I'm gonna try to make kind of wall here, and okay, let's see how it works. Well, that's finished, and I placed this moss on the top and in between in places just to make it more windproof. As always, in every vid I have to beg you for something. If you like this vid, make sure you hit the subscribe button, give a like, and comment what you think. Comment what would you do different than I did, and it always helps. So yeah, simply subscribe and there will be more stuff like this. Time to light the fire. Few more like this, and this thing is great for kindling. Thin, it's not super dry because everything around here is moist. It should be just fine. There is one more great purpose of this natural cord, and if you make smaller pieces, you just tear them apart and you'll have this tiny fine material. And best thing about this, it catches spark very easily. Come on, focus, 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 focus. Okay, there you go. And nice little fibers. Here I have these. Usually you put the wood on the ground, and the fact is that ground won't moist your firewood. But with this, it stays dry because this is a good insulator, and yeah, if you have it, it is much better than put sticks in the ground, because in time those sticks that you put on the ground will burn off and your firewood will be again on a cold ground. Here I have this rope, and if I'm right, it will catch a spark and we'll have a fire. We'll see. Have fire. Now, as I stopped working around the campsite, I really started to feel chillness, so it's time to put my jacket on and to feed fire. And everything is very damp here, and lighting a fire is not easy as it looks like. Always with always the same with the smoke. Very nice. Familiar sound. Sure it is. Oh. And this stone wall really does a nice job in reflecting heat. We'll see inside after I put this cover will it work, and it will be sauna inside. Can't wait to try it. I'm playing for a while with this little knife, and I gotta tell you, this simple handle is very comfortable. It reminds me actually of my puka knife. The difference is that this has a little bit rougher edges, but it's fine because this is meant to be a woodworking tool. And handsome little knife. It was funny for me at the first because of this small blade. We can do really some nice work with it. Really like it, and I had in plan to make spoon here. The problem is I don't have saw, so I cannot get myself a nice piece. But in future, next to it, I'll surely use this. And yeah, works just fine. I really like it. It'd be nice if you had some sheath with it, because you have to be very careful because this blade is very sharp. And yeah, nice little blade. Thumbs up. You can find the link in the description if you want to get some. They have also crook knives and a lot of different blades. So the inside, my dinner is cooling down. Nighty night. This is how it looks from the inside. It's very hot inside. I have to put off my jacket. I think that I'm not gonna need a huge fire all night. And the problem is, if I make it too big, this will have a lot of little holes. So far so good. It works. Well, I always like when a thing works. I have my backpack, I'm gonna use it for my pillow, and this will be a nice night, and I think I'm gonna finally get some sleep outdoors. Now, if I had space blanket here, it would be much better, but still, like this, as you can see, this tarp is just getting in, and that is because of the heat, and so far works just perfect. I have to keep fire like this, not to burn down, and it works very fine. We'll see in a few hours. As I said, so far so good. In here is very nice, and under my back it's very comfortable. It's very, how should I say, I wouldn't say soft, but it feels like a nice mattress, trust me. I think I'm gonna have some rest finally, because usually when you don't have this super shelter, you have to go all night outside to get firewood, and yeah, when you get nice and warm inside of your sleeping bag or something, it's very hard to get outside. This is just perfect. I should be fine for the night, so I'll see you guys in the morning, and good night. Well, good morning. It is almost 8 o'clock. I fell asleep around 10, and during the night I woke up around 3 o'clock. Something was walking around my campsite and I just fall asleep again. It was very comfortable. I had fire until 9:30 last night, and there was really no need because I closed this shelter very well and heat was just inside. It was very warm inside of my jacket, and yeah, it just works perfect. You can see my bed. Very nice night, but also very long night because it gets dark around 5 o'clock in the evening, so you can imagine, and it was dark until 6 o'clock this morning, so around 13 hours of pure darkness. I'm still thinking, should I light a fire or not, because I don't have any cup to make tea and I don't need heat anymore. Okay guys, now let's make some final conclusion about this shelter. And as you can see, if you know some comfort, and trust me, this is comfort, if you carry a sleeping bag, it would be just perfect. And you don't need any special tents, any special gear. You don't have to make some huge shelters, because that also takes practice to make natural shelters. It's not easy as it looks like. Sometimes for me it gets complicated, and the huge problem is lack of materials around you. So if you don't want to cut something around, this is just perfect solution. You get it all for under $15, okay? And that's about it. You don't need to have some expensive gear to go out there. People often find excuses not to go out there because of maybe expensive gear or something. This is just enough. Get some food, go out there. You can make nice camp, and it's just pure comfort. 5 billion star hotel. Now what I have to do, I need to take all this apart and hide any clues. And most of the time when I go out there, I do that, leave no trace. That's because when someone else comes by, you'll give them feeling that they're in a really wild area. Okay, if they find something like this, that's not nice. Also, it's not eco to leave it like this, and I'm gonna use this probably for olive harvest. I can use this for cover something in my garage. So yeah, all of this plastic will be used in the long term. Now let's tear this apart. Timber. When you're tearing up the fireplace, make sure there are no hot coals, otherwise you can get a forest fire, and that wouldn't be good, especially for me. This is how it should be after you leave the place. Just not perfect, but with the first rain and few needles from above, it will look like no one was here ever. Time to leave. As always, thank you guys for watching, and if you like this vid, go down there, hit the like, comment what you think, tell me what would you do different, and as always, I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching. If you wondered where the main star is, Daddy was not home. Daddy was not home. Daddy was not home.